All right, this was C class, Advanced Charleston, class number 1, and we started off doing some solo exercises to kind of get you in the Charleston spirit.
Right, so we went through a bunch of Charleston footwork. I'm not going to do them all, but I'm going to show you a few of them. So if they were confusing, you can practice at home. So airplane Charleston, kick, step, kick, hold, kick, step, kick, hold, kick, step, kick, hold, kick, step. And I was saying a lot of the same things when we were doing these because you have to remember to keep your weight forward even when you're doing a thing where it changes direction. So keeping your weight forward even when you're coming around that corner. So that was one. We also did, we did a Johnny's drop variation. So on the lead side, it looks like this. If you're doing a basic Charleston, and then 1, 2, around, step, rock, step, down. Okay, so we were doing like 3 or 7 basics, and then a Johnny's drop as kind of a phrase ender. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, here it comes. 1, 2, around, rock, step, down. On the follow side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, rock, step, around, rock, step, down. These are leadable variations. We're probably not going to do them in this class, but just it's a good footwork to know because if it's ever led on you follows, to have that in your body. And leads, you could probably figure out how to lead this on the social dance floor if you wanted to.
Out and over. Yeah. And then the other things that we just talked about were keeping in mind, like keeping nice and light and loose, keeping forward on your feet, on the balls of your feet, weight forward. Whenever you're kick step, you make sure that your body is actually leading, like when Jen was showing the airplane Charleston. The people who are most successful for that were leading with their bodies. Their bodies are moving, and their leg is just like the thing that's under them to keep them from falling over, but their body is what's leading the motion. You don't want your foot to be leading any kind of motion, otherwise it'll be hard for you to keep up and balance and all of those things. And then we also talked about like Charleston is kind of a choose your own adventure. You can bounce on every single step, right? So your like foot that's coming off the ground. But as you do this, we'll talk more about this in other weeks, just try not to get too bouncy with it, with your head. But you don't have to. Like if you're on one foot, for example, and you're just kicking, you can keep that foot on the ground and still pulse down every bit. It doesn't have to hop off the ground. So depending on your joints, the music, how you're feeling that day, you might just kind of do it differently.
We also talked about that front and back kicking on one leg is a great way to practice keeping your balance in Charleston. To just as an exercise at home, to just, you know, switch back and forth, do it a bunch on each side, just to keep that, you know, practice of keeping a good solid balance while you're kicking.
And we moved on to it's the January feelings of this time of night. It's time to go to bed. It's time to go dance for a few hours. We worked on tandem Charleston tonight, and a couple of things that we focused on. Let's just maybe do it a couple times so that just if you need maybe let's back to the camera.
Okay.
If you need some of you just needed the footwork. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. When we talked about making it really linear and going down the line, so leads, we're setting this up, boom, so that we head down the line and we stretch out and we keep going back. So leads, especially after this part, we kick. We don't want to turn in place and kick step. We want to keep moving our momentum back to then catch the follow. It feels a lot better for the follows.
Yes, and follows, you're getting this momentum out that you're going to bounce off of, but we talked about being on the front of your foot so that you are not pulling the lead towards you on that rock step. So you're front of your foot so you can change directions easily and make it a bounce and a direction change that's kind of light and not heavy because you're too far back on your foot.
Yes. Then we talked about just being in tandem Charleston, talked about arms low or bent. I don't want my hands here. It's awkward for Jen. I'm going to put them here so that it feels natural for her. And then we talked about keeping these arms, just keeping them kind of like back and forth on a plane, or you could do the chugga chugga choo choo. Try not to do this though. The up and down is weird. It makes it kind of teeter-totter. It doesn't feel as good.
And then moving forward and back. So rock step and travel forward, travel back. Travel forward, travel back.
So making sure, yeah, that traveling there makes it a lot clearer for the follows, and then also talking about having those arms be very bold. Like wherever you want those arms leads, make sure you're bold about it. It gets weird for follows if we're kind of doing tandem and they're not quite sure. Then we did a variation to get out of tandem, and we may have gained some new insights since then. We had some folks had some trouble with it that we were like trying to figure out. We were surprised by. So I think we figured a couple things out. First we showed this move that you guys have done before. Maybe we'll show that too first. If we set up this 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and a 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and where the leads go forward, follows come back. Maybe we'll show you how you can do this. Yeah. So we got a 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 basic Lin-Pao pattern. Boom, ba-da, boom, ba-da, da-da. So then we put that into an exit from tandem. Maybe we start from here. Let's do it here so that they can see my new foot. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and boom, ba, ba. Let's just show the basic footwork first of what we're doing, and then we'll talk about some logistics of it. So leads, I'm doing it on that first 7, 8. You can do this anytime your left foot is free for a rock step, but I'm just going to count it on the 7, 8. So here I am with my big follow, and I'm sneaking up behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, rock, step, step, step to get back on my normal footwork because we're on the same footwork. Follows we're doing.
Follows, you're getting a forward momentum, so you're going to be doing rock, step, kick, step, kick, step. Your lead's going to allow you to go forward, rock, step. You're going to do a single step, and then a rock step on your normal foot.
Couple things to help. First of all, leads, maybe we show it from this way. As we're here, I want to come, as I'm coming up, I want to make sure that I actually bring that hand all the way over. Maybe it's easier right here. I don't know, we'll show you here actually. I want to make sure I'm all the way to the side, Jen's side, and bring that hand over before I try this move. Some leads were trying to do the change of direction while their body was way back here, or the arm was like halfway here, and we were like changing direction to establish it. You don't need to rush to do it. You can walk for a while. So for example, right, if we're here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just like, hey, let's take a walk. And once I've established that pattern, then I can make that move happen. The other thing was to stay really connected to your follow. I like to wrap right around here so we're nice and connected. And the other piece is leads, as you do that back step on your left, make sure your arm is kind of, it's like this feeling of you want to get your follow to continue their momentum forward. Just encourage them to keep doing their footwork.
Follows, you have to stay stuck to that hand, especially if they're not wrapped around. You have to stay stuck to it so that when it goes back, you're not continuing your momentum forward. And then the timing of it is super important. So like, if you're doing a bunch of kick steps forward, maybe we can back up a little bit.
Yeah,
if we're doing a bunch of kick steps forward, you just have to make sure that it's when your left foot is freely so that you can get the follows to rock forward on their left, and you are rocking back on your left for leads. But some people are skipping some of the kicks, and you were ending up on the wrong foot, and it was just.
Yeah, so just think left foot leads. I was doing on count 7. I was seeing a lot of leads on count 5. I was throwing them off. It was just on the right foot. So just on your left foot, and it'll all work out. We'll keep working
this arm too. It was the other thing that you kind of
discovered is making sure that leads, you're putting this arm all the way over, which means you're coming up next to your follow. If you try to put that arm over and you're back here, it's just not going to work. That's what created the weirdness. You got to move up, put it there. Now we're connected. We're establishing the forward pattern, and
this hand, because I'm connected behind Jillian at this point. When I get that rock step forward, this hand also is stopping me from going forward, right? Because I can't, unless I like let go on purpose, which I wouldn't, of course.
So that's a lot of things. We actually didn't know this move was going to take all that conversation. I think it just kind of like worked a little easier for us, but also the same height. And I don't know, there were some things we kind of assumed, but we're gonna work on those little details next week. And, you guys did a good job. We're glad to have you back. See you next week. See you soon.